Yes,
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to see it, Lisa. So
Okay. It's setting up for,
okay.
so it should be in a second. And we are live.
We're live. We're live. We're the Snarky
Yeah.
Sisters. It's Sunday Songwriters Spotlight, and I'm Diana.
And I'm Lisa, and we have a very, very special guest today,
We are
Mr.
so
Memphis
excited.
Gold. Woo!
Wow,
Thank
that's
you
a
for having me.
pleasure.
Thank you so very, very much.
Here's our song. It's the Sunday Songwriters Spotlight with the Snarky Sisters, live at noon.
We're on
And we're
time today.
right here on our Facebook page. With our friends, we will commune. Featuring the fabulous Memphis Gold and some of his fabulous bluesy tunes.
Our guest is from Mississippi. And his blues is hot, not cold.
And bold.
He's played all over the world, a treasure to behold. His strings are made of silk, but his personality is pure gold.
And we mean Memphis
Woo-hoo!
Thank you so very, very much.
Gold.
We are so
And we're
happy
coming-
to have you.
We're coming to you today. I live on Capitol Hill. I'm wearing all the gold that I have and my gold outfit. And Lisa's in Ithaca, New York. I'm on
Upstate
Capitol
New
Hill.
York.
And where are you, Memphis?
Wow.
Memphis
Wow.
is where are you? What town?
Man, I'm here in Arlington, Virginia.
Arlington,
All
Virginia.
right.
Downtown Arlington.
We've
All
been there
right.
before. Excellent.
Yeah.
And we've got a toast for you too.
Oh, thank
Ooh,
you.
look at
Thank you
mine.
so very, very much. Yes, yes.
Made out of gold. Mine
Thank
is
you.
a golden fizzy Memphissippi.
Thank you. That's
Ooh.
right.
And what
And
have
I-
you got, Lisa?
This is a Beale Street bubbly, little hard cider, and a little blueberry for the blues. So cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. All
Cheers.
right.
Yes. By all means.
Mm. So Memphis, I have a bio to read for you. It's quite extensive, so it'll be a little truncated here, but man,
All right.
you've been all around the world.
Yes, ma'am.
Literally. Yeah. Memphis Gold is a true veteran of the music world. He's released 4 full-length albums, has shared the stage billing with internationally known luminaries, has done 9 international tours and several festivals worldwide. His international appeal landed him on the cover of the world's oldest blues magazine, Sweden's Jefferson Blues Magazine, the Living Blues Magazine in the USA, the Block Magazine of the Netherlands, and the cover of Blues and Rhythm Magazine in the UK. Born in Memphis, Tennessee in 1955, Memphis Gold, Chester Chandler, was the 13th child of 14. His father, also a musician, introduced his son to the guitar at the tender age of 4, and by the age of 8, he was a regular on historic Beale Street in Memphis, where he played the guitar and danced for pocket change from the crowd. At the age of 12, the tender age of 12, his guitar skills were honed, learning licks at the knee of legendary Delta picker and gospel player Reverend Robert Tim Wilkins. After decades of juke joints, blues festivals, and Navy military duty, Memphis Gold landed in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and is a regular staple of the D.C. music scene. 2008 posed a dramatic turning point in Memphis Gold's career. In a life-threatening accident, he fell 35 feet to the ground from a tree, breaking his back in 3 places. Doctors said there was very little chance of him ever being able to walk again. But despite these early warnings, he continued to write songs from his hospital bed. Through rigorous rehabilitation and pure determination to continue performing, Memphis Gold has recovered his mobility and is once again taking stages coast to coast and internationally. The blues world continues to discover and love the music of Memphis Gold. Living Blues Magazine placed him on the cover of their February-March 2009 edition, and Gibson Guitars recognized him by awarding him a custom guitar and endorsement. He was thrilled to perform at the Red, White, and Blue Ball, the official military inaugural ball, in January 2009, and in 2017, the Heroes inaugural ball opening for Bret Michaels. His music can be found on B.B. King's Bluesville, XM Radio, Comcast Music on Demand, radio stations throughout the world, Spotify, etc. He's no flash in the pan artist. He is the real deal. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention the nonprofit that he runs, which is, we have at the very top, if you look when you're watching the show, there's a link for PayPal for Building Bridges America Incorporated. This is a nonprofit supporting homeless and disabled veterans. And we'd also like to say that we have some help in the background. We have Lieutenant Colonel, retired Tyrone Krabs, his wife Erica Crab, and Memphis Gold's wife Barbara, all helping out in the background. Thank you and welcome, Memphis Gold! Yay!
Thank you so very, very much. I am so honored to be here. Yes.
No, we're so honored to have you because you actually are a living legend.
You are.
And we appreciate you so much. And you know, you're famous as it is, but we want to see you become like B.B. King famous.
Yes,
and your music is fabulous, and your story is really a really touching story. And we want to talk about all of that, and especially Building Bridges America Inc., which you can also find Building Bridges America Inc. inc.org, and also on Facebook, Building Bridges America Inc. on Facebook page. But my first question is, before we ask you to start playing for us, because that's the most fun part, is what have you been doing for the past 14 months?
Wow. Yeah, that's a very good question. Not only for me, but I know for a lot of other musicians and who play for. I play music for a living, so this is what I do all the time. But the last 14 months, I've been recording. I've been in the studio, and trying to get some new music out and trying to express what's been going on here in this last 14 months as well. I have also been writing for. I'm an honorary member of the oldest blues society in the world, which is the Swedish Blues Magazine. Jefferson is the oldest magazine, and every quarter during the pandemic, they let me write an article, you know, and to give my viewpoint of what's going on here in America with our blues artists and, you know, people, you know, that how we're doing. So I've been ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So actually, you know, I've been writing. Also, I played for about 3 months straight this past spring off my balcony. I live on the 8th floor, and where I'm at is there's a very good way to play. If I play off my balcony, all these buildings that my music bounces off of, and every evening around 8 o'clock, I would play the national anthem first, and then I would play music for an hour and a half for all the young people in the neighborhood. They would line up under my balcony, and they would be listening for that hour and a half, and they would always be there on Fridays and Saturdays. For 3 months, they would always look forward to me playing. So it was giving my time back to the community.
That sounds great. That sounds fabulous. Well, why don't we start with a tune? Why don't you tell us what you want to play and tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. Well, you know, as musicians and artists, we learn different songs from people that we come in contact with during life. For me concerned, as I'm concerned, like I learned a lot from an old man. His name was Robert, Tim Wilkins, and of course, I had an uncle that probably would have been very famous if he had a really wanted to play the blues. And as a boy, I used to sit up on the back of a tractor with him, and he would sing all these songs to me as we would be plowing the fields and doing things like that. So this is one song that he used to, the first song I think I'll do, it's called A Teeny Weeny Bit. And I remember him doing this song on the back of a tractor. So here it goes. I don't want much, just a teeny weeny bit. I don't want much, y'all, just a teeny weeny bit. Just a teeny weeny bit, a teeny weeny bit of your love. Turn the light down low, just a teeny weeny bit. Turn the light down low, just a teeny weeny bit. Just a teeny weeny bit, a teeny weeny bit of your love. Well, I don't want much, just a teeny weeny bit. I don't want much, y'all. Just a teeny weeny bit. Just a teeny weeny bit, a teeny weeny bit of your love. One more thing. I don't want much, just a teeny weeny bit. I don't want much, y'all, just a teeny weeny bit. Just a teeny weeny bit, a teeny weeny bit of your love.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That was great. That was
Thank
fabulous.
you. Thank you so very, very much.
Was the Reverend Robert Tim Wilkins, was his biggest song Rolling Stone?
Rolling Stone, yes, and as you might have it, the Rolling Stones, that's actually really where they got their name from. And matter of fact, they did a song called The Prodigal Son. He did a song called The Prodigal Son on their Beggar's Banquet album, 1964, somewhere right in there. And they covered quite a bit of his songs that made them, not only made them big, but it also made him be noticed as well, you know.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yes.
without the Rolling Stones, he wouldn't have gotten some more, it could have been even huger, but yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, right. So coming from 14 children, you were the 13th. Did all of you play instruments, or were you more of a softball team?
Well, first of all, a loaf of bread used to go through our house like a bullet. And, but yeah, I have several older siblings that play saxophone and piano. During a lot of my older sisters, matter of fact, my older sister, she was born 1924, and she plays saxophone. And I'm the prodigy of my father. Was when I was born. Well, he was about 50, I think, somewhere right in that time. But he was born 1905. So now what was happening, all of his friends were at least 10 years older than him. So when I was coming along, I was literally socializing with all these old men who got 1889, 1894, all these old people in the 1890s were my father's best friends. So I was always looking up in their faces, and they were just like Sister Rosetta Tharpe and some of the other artists that were around my father. They were just his friends. I didn't know they were going to be famous. You know what I mean? So it was quite a life, And I tell a lot of people that I started driving when I was 10 years old, and I was going about my father's business about 11 or 12. He would give me this truck and let me go all over town and come back, and I would, do different things for him. Like I was about 12. So I was kind of like the only one he had to depend on. You know what I mean?
Out of 14.
Yeah.
Did you teach yourself guitar basically, or was it a combination of everybody?
I was self-taught. I mean, my father could play. He played piano up like ragtime, kind of like Pine Top Perkins of that era. And but he played in church. He never would. To him, playing blues was taboo, and he always stressed to me, "You don't want to play that taboo music, there, son." But I always gravitated to it because, I had other cousins that were dancing, and they were telling me about Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and all those other people, But for my father, though, he was saying, "Oh no, son, we don't play that in our house. We play nothing but the church music, gospel music." And he was a great deacon in the church. But I can remember the transition that Reverend Robert, Tim Wilkins, before he started preaching, I know that he had just came, when I first met him, he had just came into the church from playing blues. So he had this kind of bluesy feel, in his playing as well, but it all came together,
Well, tell me how you changed your father's mind about the blues.
Well, I found that when I play in the church, they don't pay me. They want me to play for my soul salvation when I play in the church. He wants me to play in the church, but they always want you to play for nothing. But I have a living. I play this. This is my living. This is how I eat. So I think before he passed away, he knew he had heard my first album, and he said, "Well, as long as they paying you, you're all right." He says, as long as they paying you. But like I say, the church, I love to play in the church, but every time I go to play, they say, "Well, can you play for your soul salvation? We can't pay you." But but I occasionally I do go to church and play, but most of the time, like I say, this means MONEY for me. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about how you came into be a serviceman? How did that happen?
Well, I snuck off and went to the service, which my father told me. And when I volunteered doing the, I was one of the volunteers that I volunteered during the Vietnam War, and the war was over in '75, and I went in '73. But my father told me, said he didn't talk to me for 2 years because I ran off and I volunteered. He had told me, said, "Son," he said, "this ain't no black man's." He said, "This ain't no black man's war." He said, I really don't want you to go to the military." "For what?" He said, "We're not over there killing nobody. We're not, So he said, "This is not a black man's war." And I said, "But me," I said, "No, I'm volunteering for my country." And as soon as I got in, I went to boot camp. I was thinking I might not go to Vietnam. And that's exactly what they did. They sent me to a place called Play Cool. And I was there for 11 months. But I was a little green. I was green when I got there. I was really young, but it was if it hadn't been for the older black guys, brothers that was there that took care of me, I don't think I would have made it. You know what I mean? Because there were certain things that you had to be conditioned for what was going on during that time. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nothing to me. I wanted to smoke a cigarette, throw my butt down. He said, "Hey, no, man, don't do that." He said, "The enemy can see us, so they'll know exactly where to pick it up." And we have certain things I had to learn, by being there. And but I came back and I ended up doing about 14, 15 years, and as a military guy.
All right. So did you play much music while you were in the military?
Well, yes. And no, because I always had a guitar with me. But only time I think I played was one time at the USO. We pulled into Rhoda, Spain, or a couple places. We put in port, and I would always go to the USO or somewhere and play around with the guys during the time. I turn and I think rolling on the river, rolling, and I was doing stuff like that. I turn the stuff at at USO when I would pull into different ports. Yeah.
Well, we've got so many questions. Why don't you play another song? And coming out of it, I'm going to ask you what your first guitar was.
I sure will.
Okay.
This next song, I think I want to take y'all back down to Mississippi, way down in what I call the hill country. This would be my mother's side of the family type of music, because like I said, they would fight at a dime. They would fight. I mean, they were people that were my mother's side of the family was rowdy. I mean, they were whiskey drinkers, just rowdy people. But my father's side of the family, they were all just on the main line, tell them what you want. They're all sanctified type, you know what I'm saying? So I had a double vision, double way of seeing things in life. But anyway, we're gonna go down to the hill countryside, of the rowdy side of my family. I'm down cattle picking cotton. I'm down here on my knees. Down on Mr. Stove on place. Not too far from the Dockery farm. I be picking cotton. If it wasn't for my folks, Lord, I be leaving here. Master say I got to get 300 pounds for the sun go down. I be damn tired of picking cotton. I'm down here on my knees. Down on Mr. Stonewall place. Not too far from the Dockery farm. I be picking cotton. I'm damn tired of picking cotton. If it wasn't for my folks, Lord, I be going north to that Chicago town. I'm damn tired of picking cotton. Thank you.
Woohoo!
Yeah. That song was about the song. I wrote this song. It was about a guy who was caught way down south of Mississippi, and he wanted to go up north with everybody else, but he couldn't go because his parents were so old that he had to stay there and take care of him. He had to pick cotton for him. And that was kind of like me because I was the last one at home, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't leave because my parents were so old that I couldn't go north, you know, like everybody else. So I instead ran off to the military. So
Wow.
Oh, wow.
yes.
Great story.
Wow. Yeah, that is good. What was your first guitar? How old were you when you started playing?
Well, of course, you know, my first guitar was a harmony. And then I've had several guitars. I even had some silver tones, some Silver Roebuck. I got to have one of the first silver tone amplifiers and guitars back in the day, you know. And I've had a lot of guitars that will probably be worth a lot of money now, but I somehow I didn't care about them, and I left them different places, and as a military man, I'm always on the move, so I was always, you know, leaving guitars everywhere.
Wow.
But I think, like I said, but right now I do have, like I said, Gibson gave me it was 335. That was, and I got BB King to sign it, so it's probably worth quite a bit, you know.
Yeah, I would think so. And now you're playing an old Epiphone, a Joe Pass Epiphone, right?
Yeah, Joe Pass. I
Right
love
now.
the sound of this guitar. It's a really good sound guitar.
Very
Yeah.
pretty. Very, very pretty.
Thank you.
So you've been playing live recently? How's that feel? Pretty good to be outside
Yes,
playing?
I've been playing a live. Maybe like yesterday, I did some things to help raise funds for our organization, Building Bridges America, and we were here in Arlington, Virginia, outside. Matter of fact, and it was a very beautiful day, and we had great attendance, and really, we just doing these things with a lot of volunteers right now. We need some volunteers, of course, to help us out. But if anybody wants to help us out, try to help homeless veterans. We try to take care of some of their little simple needs like toothpaste, toothbrushes, hand sanitizers, masks to help those guys out in the streets. There's a lot of people that have PTSD, mental issues that they have from the military service, and they feel comfortable out in they call the bush sometimes. Matter of fact, I was homeless for about three and a half years. I lived somewhere everywhere in DC, from down in the bowels of some of these cardboard. I slept on cardboard. I slept in parks, Rock Creek Park. Oh my gracious! Because at the time I was suffering PTSD, and we have a lot of guys out there like that. The only thing that kind of keeps me together is my music. Really helps me to with PTSD and different things like that. So that's why. Yes.
Well, how did that happen to you? How do you end up? You come back from Vietnam. What were the steps that got you into that cardboard box?
Well, you sometimes you come back and you think you're doing well, you mentally, and as time goes on, sometimes it takes other people to progress into certain things a little bit longer than others. You know what I'm saying? But even the whole time that I was in the military, I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Military was rough for a black guy back in my time. I mean, we really had to be sharp, because if you didn't, it could be very difficult, you know what I mean? Because there were only a certain number of, a lot of racism going on as well. But I had to call it what it is. But you have to survive kind of on your own, but it's a great experience, you know what I'm saying? It's a great experience, but it was some hard times when I first came in, especially the Navy. The Navy was really rough, and can you imagine a ship? You on a ship with 400 or 500 guys, and only maybe about 20 of you guys are black, and you out in the middle of the ocean. You out there, and you gotta say yes, sir, and you gotta no, sir, and you gotta do this, and we want you to scrub this, and you got some guys that were really not transitioned. They were from other different parts of the country that they had never seen a black guy before in their whole life, and then you get certain, attitudes started. But you have to make it. You have just to know how to be, know how to control yourself, and to think about your country first. And a lot of times,
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit how you started your nonprofit? Like, how did that come together? Did you have some friends
Well,
collaborate?
well, no, my wife actually, she was coming across there's a bridge here called Chain Bridge over in Arlington, Virginia, that leads you over right onto DC. And when you go across this bridge, she said she was just riding one day and thought about building bridges in America. And she started thinking about that, I was a disabled vet, and she was thinking about there are a lot of guys out here that was homeless. So it's kind of her baby. And they always live around they always live around bridges. They live under bridges, and you feel more comfortable under bridges, So that's kind of what he started at. Yeah.
So you have a fundraiser coming up tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. On buildingbridgesamerica.org. You go there and you can see inc.org, and it'll tell you exactly what we're doing. Also, you can go to my site. I'm always posting something about building bridges on the Memphis Gold Blues website. So try to get it out to everybody. So because we really need help. No contribution is too little. Like I said, these guys really need you. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine coming home in different places, and you fight for your country and you do all you can, and then they shut the door on your account and say, "Whoa, you're not realizing what's going on with me, my issues." And then we kind of like transition and say, "Okay, well, I don't give a heck anymore." And you kind of go say, "Well, I got to live life up on a bridge." So it's hard, yes.
Well, it's a wonderful humanitarian project, and you're a great artist too. So that's an awful lot. It's marvelous.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I try to make it worth me doing this, to give back to, because a lot of people when I was homeless, a matter of fact, a story that if I can do it right, but I was walking around in a circle around DC for 3.5 years, knowing I could play. I knew I could play in my mind and everything, but I was having problems. And I walked into a pawn shop, and I asked the guy, I said, "Can I see the guitar up there?" He looked at me real strange because I had these bags and stuff on, and he was wondering if I was gonna knock him in the head and take his guitar, whatever. But anyway, he took his chance and he handed it to me, and he plugged it in, and I said, he says, "Wow, man!" He said, "Oh my God!" He says, I said, "Man," I've been playing. Well, how long you been playing? We started talking. He said, "You got to go to this club with me." I said, "With what? I don't even have a guitar. I'm gonna go to a club with you." He said, "I tell you what I'm gonna do." He put the guitar in layaway for $50. He loaned me $50, and I worked cutting hedges, and I started doing landscaping stuff. And it took me 4.5 months to get a $600 guitar. And I walked around the corner to the club that he was telling me about, and I played, and the guy came up, "Oh my God!" And from then on, it was like I got back into my music, and I've been to 46 countries since then.
All right.
We are so lucky. We're so lucky that happened to you. How about another song?
Yes, of course. Let's see. This next song, I think it's the one I think it is. This is kind of mid-60s song. Goes something like this. Thank you.
So Memphis, instead of green onions, you should call that blue onions.
Blue onions, that's it.
I wanted to get back to one question again about the Rolling Stones, because rock and roll, the Stones played based, all their first couple of albums were blues based, and they learned from the American blues masters.
Yes.
And rock and roll was based, was built on the backs of the blues. Do you feel resentment, or do you feel pride, or do you feel a mixture?
Well, yeah. I mean, I really appreciate those guys. Really, bringing African American music, to the forefront. And a lot of times, even today, what I'm saying, they keep the blues going. I just wish they would let some of us old guys have some of that, a little bit more of that money they making out there. You know what I'm saying? And bigger venues and bigger jobs. But yeah, and I said it's not a lot of old guys like myself that are still left. Really, not. I'm not sure if I'm the last from era, and I'm era. Sorry, my era from as far as African Americans I've done, because I notice now when young white guys go to college and they find out about the blues, they go, "Oh my God, where's this music been? Oh my God, I gotta play it. I gotta go get me a guitar." And oh my God, they get in about the second or third year of college, they find blues. They said, "Oh my God."
Don't you want to just smack them? Don't you just want to smack them?
Don't tell me that.
Do you think, well, back in the 70s and 80s in DC, there were a lot of different music happening, but the blues was always very popular. But lately it seems to have fallen off a little bit. Am I wrong, or have you seen that, or do you see a resurgence coming up?
I know that it's also we're saying sometime, but the thing about the blues is always going to be there. When Beyonce gets to be 35, 40, 50 years old, it's going to be, she's going to have to go back to the blues. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? I can be 99 years old and sit right here with this guitar and play all day and all night, and it's always going to be appealing. The blues is always going to be appealing. So, I mean, even though you don't hear about it, it will never, ever. Because like I said, if it hadn't been for the blues, and also rock and roll, and a lot of people don't know about rock and roll. There was a lady who really was the first rock and roller that nobody ever thinks about. And I had a chance to play with her as a little boy. Her name was Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
One of my heroes, Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
Yes. And if it hadn't been for her, rock and roll, when they talking about Chuck Berry, no, not Chuck Berry. So it was her that actually started rock and roll.
She was amazing. Did she teach you all those all of her strange tunings? I mean, I sit down and I try to play along with her, maybe on a video. It's all her guitar was all tuned completely.
Yes. There are so many tunings, and that she had, and some of them, it just sounds. It's like this, and I hate to say it, but you can take a little African American boy right now, and you can put him anywhere on the thing. He's gonna pop right on time. I don't know what it is, but they're gonna be, oh my God, wait a minute, hey, they're gonna pop their fingers, and that's just the way it is. I mean, and I kind of came out like that, and I mean, like I said, I think that it's in your blood. It's there. It's down right down here, But it can be learned. It can be learned, but if you sometimes you have to be born with it.
Hey, Memphis, Tyrone, we lost your picture. We hear you.
Somebody's trying to call me.
Oh.
Okay.
There you are.
All right.
So, what do you remember about her? Because I haven't read that much really about what she was like as a person, and how did she start playing guitar? Did she ever tell you that?
Well, church. She came. Her church beginnings. Normally, when you start playing in the church, or as she did sing in church, it kind of comes natural, and she was just a natural playing. She learned herself pretty much, and because she had her own style, so, but I'm pretty sure that at some she learned something from, like I did, from a little here, a little there, so you gotta put it together,
Yeah,
but,
she was powerhouse.
it's special.
So we have a bunch of friends watching right now, and I want to do a shout out to a few, some wonderful musicians and songwriters. John Pfeiffer is watching now. Rick Wheeler, who's an amazing guitar player. We have Tommy Wright, and he's also Tommy. He's really a wonderful man.
Yes. All those guys. Hey, I've come in contact with a lot of those guys, and just glad that you guys are here. And thank you for what you do. Look, I often say, if a guy tells you when you leave a gig that you had fun, you never want to play with him again.
Because it's a job, right? It's a job.
This ain't fun. This ain't fun. I enjoy it, but it ain't fun. It's a job, and a lot of people don't look at it. A lot of people don't try to look at it as but I don't have fun when I play my guitar. I enjoy it, but it's not fun.
Okay. How would you like to play another song for us that we can enjoy?
Sure. Have I slowed anything down for you guys?
All right.
Sure.
Okay. This next song is another song that one of my uncles used to sing to me all the time. I have a lot of original songs, but sometimes it's easier to play. I notice my music, sometimes it's easier to play simple songs when I'm playing by myself, than when I'm playing with my band, some of my original stuff, But this next song is called You Must Be Loving Someone Else, because you sure ain't loving me. It goes something like this here. Yeah, you must be loving someone else. You sure ain't loving me. Yeah, you must be loving someone else now, baby. Cause you sure ain't loving me. Yeah, strange things that happen lately that makes me believe there's a possum in my tree. I'm gonna get me old hound dog, and I'm gonna teach him how to track and tree. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I said I'm gonna get myself an old hound dog. Yeah, and I'm gonna teach him how to track and tree. Yes, and right about midnight, I'm gonna catch an old possum in my dream. one more thing. I'm gonna give me a rusty step ladder. Yeah, just in case my dog don't bark. Yeah, I said I'm gonna give myself an old rusty step ladder. Yeah, just in case my dog don't bark. Yes, and right about midnight, I'm gonna catch it old possum in the dark.
Yeah. Nice.
Fabulous.
Yes, thank you.
Let's go back to building bridges.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a you do, where do you do the concerts from on Monday nights? It's every Monday
On
night.
Monday nights, from my party room in my building downstairs, and we there from 6 to 7:30, and we have special guests. Matter of fact, the guys that are fabulous musicians that are playing
Tell
with
us
me.
who
They're
your
really-
musicians are. Tell us who the band members
Well, I have
are.
Steve on bass guitar. I have Steve Wolf, a fabulous bass guitar player
Yes,
around
he
here.
is.
Yes. Also, I have Kurt Gibbons. He's a great saxophonist and keyboard player. Then I have Joe Wells. He's on drums. Oh my God, these guys have been playing with me for years. And then also I have Mike Nelson, another wonderful rhythm guitar player. And as our MC, we have from WPFW, we have Ida Campbell. And then we have our crew, of course. We still got Ty Crab, and my cousin Ty Crab and his wife. And wow, we just have so many people in the back scene as well, you know.
That sounds great. It sounds terrific. You
We also
PFW.
Yes, so we also will be on YouTube and Facebook Live. So either one of those you want to catch will be fine. Go to Building Bridges in America and YouTube. Thank you. Yes.
And the link is on the comments here. So those of you who want to go there.
And
Yes,
please, everybody who's watching now, please share and keep sharing. Go to every computer in your house and press share or iPhone and tell everyone about these Monday night concerts. It's all for a good cause. It's all for a really great cause. So please, yes, everyone.
So, go ahead, Diana.
No, go ahead, Lisa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hate to keep ping-ponging back, but I did have a question for you as a musician. A lot of the people watching this show are fabulous musicians, but we have a lot of singer-songwriters who may not be as good musicians, but, you know, they write songs, okay?
Right.
What do you think of yourself? Are you a musician, songwriter? Where do you put yourself?
Oh wow. I can say I'm an artist. I mean, I try to be when you say artist, it kind of gives you a little leeway there, because you can, if you're an artist, you can write. Most a lot of artists can write, and but I try to do a little bit of I try to put my cap on for a little bit of each one of those. You know what I'm saying? So, but I encourage people, if you're not a good entertainer, be a good writer. I mean, whatever you do good, I mean, go for it.
Well,
a lot of room.
So my next question for you is, when you write a song, do you have specific inspirations? Are there certain things that you gravitate to, or is it like something hits you in the moment?
Well, a lot of times, I might write. I've got this little book. I've got 1,000 little one-liners, like the man kicked the can down the road, and I'll make this write the man kicked the can down the road, and then later I'll come back and I'll say, okay, what I want to talk about? What did he do with the kick? Did he kick it? How did he kick it? What he did, And I kind of write it, try to make sense of it. If I'm not very, I didn't go really high in school, but I know that you always get your subject, and then you get your matter, your beginning there, then your conclusion, and then you. But I do know I usually write my bass lines first.
Really?
So, bass lines are always important for me.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And there's one other question I had for you as a musician. Yeah. As a guitar player, do you have a favorite tuning? Or do you use all the different kinds of tunings?
Well, yes, I use different kinds of tuning. Like I said, I'm not. I taught myself how to play. So even some of the tunings that I have on my guitar, I even taught myself, as well. But I try to understand a lot of hill country stuff. There's a lot some good friends of mine as well. See, now I didn't tell you this, but on my mother's side of the family, that's where R.L. Burnside, Junior Kimbrough, all those guys in the North Mississippi that I used to play with them. Matter of fact, I used to play with R.L. and when I was a boy,
wow.
young, But they have different tunings. Yes, they have a lot of tunings, but I know some of those as well.
Well, we would love, if you have time, we would love to have you play one more song for us.
Sure. This is one of my favorite songs. Before I do this song, I've traveled all over the world, but this is the last song that I always do when I'm about to leave any stage that I've ever played at. And I kind of give the man upstairs, whatever you may call him, Yahweh, God, whatever you may call him, I try to give him a little bit of worship there. So, and people kind of like it. So, can we go? Can we do it? Let's see. I think it might be on. If you give me 1 minute, I think I.
What is that anyway? What is that? A loop?
Yes, a loop. All of it is me. I'm playing, but I have to play the bass line, then I play the rhythm line, and then I play. But it's all me. But then there are some places you can find tracks to do things like that. But some of I try to do all my own loops and stuff like that. Yeah, and I had to do it because of the pandemic. This is my band.
Exactly. Who needs a real band with real people? Everybody. We all need the.
That's right. We do. And I'd be glad when it's back. We here. We're almost there.
Almost there.
All right, here we go. Well, when the saints come marching in, oh, when the saints, oh my. I'm marching in, walking them saints. Oh my, telling, oh Lord, I want to be in that number. Walking the saints. Oh my, telling, the way, walking they crown, him Lord of arms. Walking they crown, him Lord of arms. Oh Lord, I want to be in that number. Walking the saints. Oh my, telling, here we go. Walking the saints. Oh marching in. Walking the saints. Oh my, telling. Oh Lord, I want to be in that number. Walking the saints. Oh my, telling. Left hand. Walking the saints. Oh marching in. Walking the saints. Oh my, telling. Oh Lord, I want to be in that number. Walking the saints. Oh my, telling.
Yeah.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Oh, that was great. And what you call your style of music? What? Beale Street? What?
Yeah, Memphis, Mississippi.
Beale Street Sanctified Gut Bucket
Bucket
Blues.
blues. That's right. That's right.
What's a gut bucket? What's a gut bucket? What does that mean? Is that what-
Thank you so much, Memphis. You were amazing. And we're so
Thank
happy
you.
to have you here today. And everyone watching, please generously tip. We have the link here and also in the comments as well. Please watch tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to 7:30. There's a link as well to see Building Bridges America. You guys were just marvelous. And we want to thank again Lieutenant Colonel retired Tyrone Crabb, his wife Erica, and your wife Barbara, and of course you, Memphis. This was just amazing. Thank you so much for
And
being in the
Memphis,
Sunday
thank you.
Spotlight.
Stay
Yes,
on
thank
with
you
us.
so very much.
Don't click leave, okay? Stay on with us while we say goodbye to everyone else.
Goodbye,
Yes, ma'am.
everybody
Bye-bye.
else.
Everybody else, we love you.